Well, hello, my beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I'll never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is a little bonus reading. Us tarot readers, we tend to do career readings, love readings, monthly readings, but we never really ask how you are, how you're doing. So this reading is a little bit different. I'm using one deck for simplicity, just to get directly to the heart of the matter, to check in to see how you are, what you're moving through at this time, how things are going to work out, and, you know, those secret thoughts of, you know, what it is that we keep to ourselves that we are struggling with at this time. Now, of course, it's not going to resonate with everybody, so I have to honor that, but I'll tap into the energy in a deep way and see what comes out. So let's get straight to it. Also, you'll see that I'm back in my usual space. It's really nice to be home. So let's tap into the energy and see what's available to you at this moment in time. Now, we do have the 8 of Swords as your starting card. So some of you have been feeling a little bit stuck. You know, you may have been in a period of stillness in order to ruminate on your next steps in life, trying to recharge your batteries. We've got the Magician card here, 5 of Swords. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do you need them to be aware of at this time? Page of Cups. This is to really listen to your heart. It's really interesting. A lot of signs are coming out with cards of stillness at this time in order to reflect, in order to strategize, in order to know your heart on the next steps that you're planning. So we've got the Tower energy here as well. So major restructure in your life. Some of you are feeling a bit isolated in your circumstances right now, in this period of stillness, in order to think of the best possible way to move forward in your life. So looking at your overarching energy, I feel some of you have been deep in thought. Please make sure that, you know, you get some quiet time as well, because you do have a supercomputer of a brain, and all these thoughts racing through your mind, sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So I definitely see here with the 4 of Swords a need to take some quiet time to sort of like quieten your busy mind, because I feel sometimes we've got the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. It can indicate that we start to be really critical upon ourselves. We start to, you know, chip away at our own self-confidence if we're feeling a little bit stuck in our circumstances. So just be a little bit mindful of that. I am going to show you each card as it comes out, but we have the 8 of Swords here, we have the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. So the dominant energy in your reading is a very cerebral one, where you're deep in thought, you're trying new things, new ideas. So it's almost like you're trying to brainstorm different things that really resonate with your heart. The Magician card indicates that you are someone who is a very talented, very gifted person. And this reading's not really about that, but it's really about you changing your circumstances in order to benefit you and tapping into that manifestation, tapping into, you know, focusing your vision, your creativity, turning your visions into reality. And you're having a lot of sort of brainstorming in order to tap into visions, in order to see the path ahead for what it is that you need to decide later on. But with the Tower present there, I feel some of you are feeling a bit isolated. Now, some of you, not all of you, I'm getting an energy of feeling a bit lonely, okay, from time to time, not all the time. The Tower energy can indicate, that you are someone who actually stands out from the crowd. You're a little bit different from everybody else. And that's really great when it comes to work or career paths. But especially if you're trying to, retire, for example, during this time. And of course, not everybody's going to be doing that. But if you're thinking about retiring, it can be that you are initiating change in that part of your life, but your friends are not on the same time frame as you. And it can feel a little bit isolating, that you're adjusting to a new path or a new way of living, and it can be that you feel a little bit alone right now, but when they decide to retire, there'll be more time for you all to be together, for example. And I'm just giving that as an example. But I actually see a lot of change around you right now, a lot of restructure, or you're feeling that things have got so stagnant or stuck in your life, a repetitive cycle perhaps, that you feel it's time for change. So I feel like you're trying to recharge your batteries, because, there's definitely an energy here of you feeling pretty exhausted. The Magician card and the Four of Swords in the Resistance position, it tells me that you have been on the go, very busy. And that's not just busy physically, it's busy mind as well. So I feel like you're trying to keep yourself busy, but at the same time, the Eight of Swords tells me that you feel somehow in the same position. So no matter how busy you are, you may feel like you're not moving forward or there's no progress at this time. But sometimes we are given a period of pause or reflection in order to recharge our batteries for the big change, for the next move, for the next big major progression point in your life, because of course we all move through stages and seasons in our life there. The Eight of Swords being your first card, it can indicate that there is some sort of self-imposed restriction. Okay, now this could manifest in many different forms. For example, some of you could be on a diet and you're trying to restrict certain things in your diet because it makes you feel bloated, lethargic, you're allergic to it, intolerant to it. So some of you on a personal level could be looking at things that are really good for you, things that are not so good for you at this time. Also, I feel like, you're looking at what you should connect to in terms of what you absorb in your everyday circumstances, toxic friendships, relationships, environments, working practices. I feel like you're really trying to find a little bit more peace of mind there. Now, the Eight of Swords, I really want you to look at this card. I shuffle this. It's obviously not going to resonate with everyone, but some of you feel a little bit tied to something right now. This figure is literally tied to like a post there. But the history of the Eight of Swords is that she could readily remove herself from that situation. It's not something she's completely bound to. It's not the Devil card there. So the Eight of Swords indicates you may feel a little bit stuck right now in something, and she's actually blindfolded as well. So when we are given periods of pause or where things get really quiet in our world, our initial go-to energy is, oh, things are boring, things feel really stuck and stagnant, I need to do something. But sometimes the universe is saying, pause. It's time to reflect. Know that you're protected during this time. All the Eights of Swords there, they are actually forming a protective barrier around this figure in order to ground that person, to root them to the spot almost, to take a period of reflection to know your mind, okay? To dig in a little bit deeper. And it's to rest, So I definitely get a sense here that things have been difficult, but you may be searching for clarity during this period regarding some sort of change that you feel like you have to face at this time or restructure. When we got the Eight of Swords and the Page of Cups, for some of you, it could be that you're feeling stuck when it comes to love, or it could be you trying to work out your purpose at this time, because pages are curious about what the world has to offer, and pages tend to search for purpose. So especially the Page of Cups there, it could be that you're trying to make sure that you're on the right path, or if you feel unfulfilled in some path right now, you're taking some time out for yourself to really get clear about your strategy in life, your purpose. And, I feel also that you're trying to gain more enthusiasm about your path ahead, because it feels like you have a goal. I definitely see this sense that you have a goal, but it's hard. And I feel like you've come up against some difficulties. With the Magician card, in the resistance position almost. It's a feeling of unfulfillment, or a feeling that you haven't truly reached your potential in some area. For some of you, as I said, and this reading's not really about love, it's not career, it's not money, but some of you, those things are an extension of, how we're feeling. So it could be that you feel unfulfilled in relationships, or you're feeling a bit isolated. It's hard to meet someone when it comes to romantic attraction, and you're just wondering, what's up? Where's the love at? So I feel like there's a major change about to be bestowed upon you, where love is going to be present. If you're single, I want you to be aware of that. Love is on its way for you. Also, some of you may have felt personally that, you don't have as much energy as you used to have, and you're trying to eliminate almost things that you feel have been draining your energy, whether these are environments, food, substances, or people, or things that you like listen to before bed, for example, because the Four of Swords can indicate some of you, your sleeping patterns have been disrupted or changed in some way recently. And what I'm being given here is that for some of you, if you're listening to something that is potentially a little bit negative or could cause anxiety before bedtime, then this is something that you're absorbing just before you fall into a very deep state of healing, where the brain, when we sleep, the brain tries to find solutions to our problems in the everyday waking life, but also it's to heal your body from the day that you just had. So some of you, if you're listening to something before bed that is, I don't know, about conflict, about world events, is about, clickbait, something like alarming or alarmist in any nature, or even like, a horror movie, for example. I love a horror movie. Not everybody loves them, but, if I'm going to watch one before bedtime, it does impact on my sleep. And even though I may have like 7 hours of pure sleep, which is unusual, but if I get that, it may not feel restful. So I feel some of you are looking at that in your life on a personal level. You are putting your own needs first, because 8 is the number of the self. And that is your first card. So I definitely see that some of you are checking in with who you are, what is necessary for your path ahead, what's healthy for you, what's not. And that also includes you looking at sleeping patterns because of the Four of Swords being present there as well. So I feel like you're trying to work something out right now. And it could be that you've had a change of environment, or you're thinking about a change of environment. But the Page of Cups, the cup of love starts with the self first. And, I feel like some of you are working through some experiences that you may have had in the past that you feel have been left unresolved. And you may have felt that you've not been tied to them, because I feel here that you can almost like remove yourself from that situation, or you don't tend to dwell in a situation like that. You're always a forward moving sign, my beautiful Capricorn, but I feel some of you may be looking back in order to resolve some things that you feel keep popping up from time to time. So you may be thinking about, with the Four of Swords, this can indicate some of you are thinking about meditation, or you're thinking about finding greater clarity on situations that you had that have impacted you and shaped who you are, but at the same time, you don't want to bring it forward with you in the future. You want to release yourself from this in order to heal, move on, and embrace happier times, for example. But I feel also that some of you are being like super honest with yourself, almost like so direct. It can be critical sometimes. So I feel some of you are looking at how harsh you are on yourself sometimes. Because I'm just being given like Five of Swords energy, and I will get to it in a moment, but Five of Swords energy can indicate that sometimes we have that inner critic that tries to break us down, and when we feel life is not going the way that we'd hoped for, it can become amplified. And remember that if, for example, someone said to you some of the things that you say to yourself in your mind, like, for example, if I drop something, I go, oh, I'm so stupid, Actually, if someone said to me, you're so stupid, immediately I'd be like, excuse me? I'd be really defensive about that. And for some of you, personally, you may be going through an experience with a person where you feel very defensive right now, because I feel like your defenses are up. That's what I'm feeling here. But also, I want you to be aware of what you tell yourself, okay? Because if you would not like anyone to ever talk to you in that way, what gives you the right to talk to you in that way? So some of you can be very critical or harsh on yourself. And I'm just giving an example. I just feel like right now you're working through some stuff, not just in the psyche, because I feel you're very cerebral at this time. You're looking at your inner self, trying to build more confidence, but you're looking at more positive and healthier impacts on your life. So I feel like you're doing some major restructure and change in your world. For some of you, this could manifest in more simplified things like, decluttering your home space, getting rid of things that perhaps you've outgrown, outdated. For some of you, it could be that you're having like a major lifestyle overhaul where you are affecting change. But what's really exciting about your cards is that you start with the Eight of Swords, which is a very stuck position, or a very rooted to the spot kind of position. But the Tower is your final card, which is to liberate yourself from a cycle repeat. So some of you, it could be that you feel life is a little bit dull and boring right now, that there's like a repetitive or routine that's going on, repetitive cycle or routine that's going on in your life in some way. And you're like, just feeling like, is this it? How do I restructure? How do I change? How do I do something that I love? How do I follow my heart? How do I be more enthusiastic about circumstances or the everyday? Should I pick up a hobby? Should I open myself up to more adventure? Should I be more creative? So I feel some of you are trying to, tap into your inner awareness, be more silent to hear the inner workings of your heart, because it does whisper. And we have to take quiet time in order to really know our hearts, because it's almost like, if I'm being honest, and please don't shoot the messenger when I say this, but it almost feels to some degree you've been a bit on autopilot, that you're just doing life. You're keeping it all together. You're holding it all together, just, trying to be busy, get stuff done, and try to manifest your dreams, try to get as much possible quality rest. But with the Five of Swords, something's on your mind. And with the Tower, for some of you, and, I have to mention it because, it's present in all of our lives right now. For some of you, you're looking at world events, or you're looking at the world at large and how things have changed, how there's major restructure going on right now. You're trying to find stability and peace in a world that is ever changing. And you're just wondering where you feel like you belong in those changes and how you create stability in a world that feels very uncertain right now. But I definitely see that whatever it is you're planning, you're on the right path and you're in control of these changes. And I do see some really exciting things to come. Now, the Page of Cups, it also indicates that there's some good news coming for you. So I want you to be aware of that. Something that's going to make your heart really sing with joy, but it could mean some sort of lifestyle restructure, and it may feel a little bit daunting at first. So I'm just going to give you some examples. It may not resonate with everyone, so please apply it to your situation. You may get some news that you get the job opportunity of your dreams. However, it means relocating to another state or another country, or it means traveling outside your comfort zone. For some of you, it could be that you're going to get so much money that it means you're going to be into another tax bracket, and you're like, oh, how do I navigate that? For some of you, it could be that you have been looking for love, and suddenly you strike up a conversation and have some chemistry with a person, and you're wondering where it's going, but you may be haunted by previous experiences you had and hope that it doesn't go the same way. Know that a new person brings, a new experience, and that whatever happened in the past, it remains in the past. The past no longer is present. Of course, we cannot experience it anymore. We can remember it, but we must not be governed with it, and we must not allow it to, change our future happiness. So I feel like you've been processing a lot in order to heal during this period. Now, for some of you, I feel with that Page of Cups, you're developing your spiritual gifts, okay? I feel some of you, with the Eight of Swords, you may have felt a little bit like brain fog recently, or you felt that, I'm being given two words: false start. So it could be that you went to do something and it didn't work out, but you're re-entering it, or you're going to return to it in some way. False start means something just didn't get off to the best start, and it may be reignited or you're going to return to it. So that's been given there as well. For some of you, it could be that you're thinking of traveling, for example, and you've had to reschedule your traveling dates. So yeah, please apply it to your situation. It was so random, just false start appeared in the water because I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading, false start. But yeah, I feel like it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to begin again. It just means that that period, it was just a moment which has delayed the inevitable. Okay, so I feel like there is some big change here that is inevitable, that you cannot ignore, is what I see here. And once you face it head on, I feel it'll bring peace of mind, whatever it is for you. Now, I'm also being given with the Magician card this energy of if you have been feeling a little bit scattered in your energy, or if you feel that your energy has been fluctuating, like one moment you're feeling really supercharged, enthusiastic about a purpose or something that fulfills you or a direction, and then suddenly the next day, not so much. I feel like you're working with the fluctuations of your body. You're tapping in to know yourself a little bit more. On days where you're not feeling it so much, I feel like, it's okay to recognize that you don't have to always be forging away or forcing a way through. And you're learning to take good quality rest, or you're learning to listen to yourself. Many, many years ago, I dabbled in art a little bit. It was a very cathartic experience for me. But when I got all that stuff out and into the paint and onto the canvas, I was really in the moment. Then the next day I would look at it and think, well, it's not finished, but I'm not feeling it today. And the days where I felt I wasn't feeling it today, but also, society has told us to be very productive and to keep moving through. And, I felt that I must be doing something at the time. I kind of like tried to still finish it. And then I would look at it and think, I kind of ruined it. And of course, in art, you can't ruin something. It's all about expression. It's all about living in the moment. It's your truth in that very moment. But, I would look back on moments where I was like, you know what, I'm not feeling it today. And I walked away. And then maybe a couple of weeks later, it would call to me and I would then return to it. I felt much better about the outcome or the experience. So I feel like you're learning about the fluctuations of when you're feeling it and when you're not. And that can also be in relationships as well. There is a shift and a change in relationships where you compromise on the energy. One day you're feeling like you want to go out and have fun with your partner, and the next it's like, you know what, let's just have a duvet day, or let's just sit in and just chill. So it's really about the fluctuations, and I feel that's something that perhaps you're tapping into at this time. Now, the Magician card in the resistance position, it can also indicate that there is an unease. Okay, and I feel here that this is something to do with planning for you. Okay, you like to have a plan. You like to be in action, as it were. You like to be moving forward. But I feel the universe has sent you a pause on purpose in order to, almost like learn to know more about yourself, or go on a personal quest for discovery, in order to build healthier boundaries in your life. Because I feel, you are a gift and you give a lot of yourself, but I feel sometimes, my beautiful Capricorn, and people misunderstand you a lot. And I feel, you give a lot of yourself away, and you may feel unappreciated, or you may feel that people don't understand your love language or your language of how you care in relationships, friendships, or how you sort of dominate your energy and focus your energy in your working environment. And I feel that there's this energy of you kind of, erecting healthier boundaries to make sure that you use your voice to be heard, to be direct. It's almost like these healthier boundaries are teaching people how you like to be interacted with. Okay, so for example, if you have a friend who always comes in, they need help, and you help that person all the time, they need your advice all the time, and you still give it, and then you start to notice, actually, they never take my advice, which is fine because it's their perspective, but they're always like coming for answers, for help. And that one time where you needed something, and you're very independent, you tend to, march to the beat of your own drum, and you tend to try to figure out your stuff by yourself. Actually, looking at your energy, there's so much independence here, this standalone energy. But you've learned that when you sort of ask, hey, is it something you can help me with, you find that actually that person cannot. And you're starting to recognize that actually, you can't keep giving and giving and giving to a situation where a person is taking and taking and taking all the time, because you're going to be completely drained and have no energy for you. And with that number 8 there, you're not being selfish. I feel like you're learning to put your own needs first, because, if you're always helping everybody, and then it comes to the end of the day, you've not had any time to do your own stuff. And it makes you feel frustrated. It makes you feel resentful, is the energy that I've got coming through. And you don't want to feel like that. So I feel like you're adjusting your schedule, or you're adjusting your priorities at this time in order to make sure that you fulfill your dreams, your goals, and, of course, still help people, but in a better time frame where you feel that, you've got time to give. So I feel like time is a factor here for you, because, as I said, you cannot help another person with an empty cup. If the cup of love, or the cup, starts with yourself first. Whenever you're on an airplane, for example, they say, if there's any issue, sort yourself out first and then help other passengers or help someone else. It's always an indication that you can't really help someone else unless you've helped yourself first and you've created a stable environment to then help another person. So I feel a lot of you are looking at friendships in that way right now. Even family relationships as well is coming through there. Now, the Magician card also indicates that you are a master manifester, but you may have felt that your manifestations have not been fulfilled recently, or you may feel that a little bit let down, okay? And I just get a sense here that things are actually changing for you. I feel with the 4 of Swords that quietening your mind, having a deeper understanding of what it is that you want, being really precise with the words that you use. Like words, they are spelt, they are spellings, they are cast out to the universe. So I feel like you are choosing your words carefully and learning to be more direct about using your voice and being heard for what it is that you want to say, and being precise and very discerning about the company that you keep and the words that you use in order to fulfill your life more. I definitely see you're going to hear news about a manifestation that you've been working on or trying to be mindful about recently, and it actually is going to make your heart sing. There's something really exciting happening there for you as well. The Magician card tells me you have a lot of power in your situation right now, but you don't give yourself credit for that. I feel some of you are learning about the difference of always being on the go and then having a rest. Sometimes if you're having a rest, I feel with the 5 of Swords being present, it's almost like you berate yourself for having a rest. There's a difference between having a rest and procrastinating. And I feel like, when there's downtime and you feel like, okay, well, I'm not doing anything, allow yourself to just not do something. You don't always have to be on the go, okay? Because I feel a lot of you have been very, very busy. You've been going through some very difficult times, and now you're being given a lesson on just being. Okay, being with your thoughts, being with the whisperings of your heart, and recharging your batteries in order to be ready for the next stage. Because I see some major change happening for you, and I feel actually this is something you're already preempting or you are in control of, and it's almost like the quiet before the storm, if I want to be honest. But I feel like you're in charge of the whole process. I feel like you are the storm. You are the one who is shaking things up a little bit, but you need to get your head straight before you actually activate the next stages of your plans, if that makes sense. 4 of Swords, I've already mentioned about good quality sleep there, but also the 4 of Swords indicates that you are protected. But sometimes with the 5 of Swords there's an energy of, and again, don't shoot the messenger, self-sabotage, okay? These could be thoughts, that inner critic that you need to be a little bit more mindful about regarding, your efforts in life. You're doing a great job, okay? I feel you've learned to be a little bit more confident, but I feel, there are moments of doubt. We all have them. But with that Five of Swords, and I am going to pull a card on that Five of Swords, because I feel like some of you may have been dealing with a person who tends to sabotage or tends to push your buttons in a certain way. And I feel like you're trying to distance yourself from this person or separate yourself from this situation. It will be beneficial to do that, because I feel, you're not here to live this person's drama. That's their drama, okay? But I will pull a card when I get to that. Four of Swords, this is a card of meditation. It's a card of taking care of yourself. So I feel a lot of these cards are saying, you need to take good care of yourself, body, mind, and soul. I feel like the pressure has been on. Some of you may have even tried not to worry about something, but sometimes, during moments where you're relaxing, it gives you time to think. And that's when these sort of thoughts come in. And self-sabotage, it's like, it doesn't mean that you're hurting yourself on purpose. It can mean that sometimes worry gets overwhelming, or overthinking, overanalyzing to the point where there is stagnation, like the Hamlet syndrome, where you have so many thoughts, you're incredibly intelligent, and you are, activating the next stages of your plans. And when you think something and then overthink it a little bit more, and then a little bit more, suddenly you realize you're still in the same place because you haven't activated any changes. So I feel like you're looking at overthinking and trying not to overthink a situation, because I feel like you actually have more powerful energy in a situation right now to activate some sort of change, to follow your heart. But of course, you're doing your due diligence, which means you're creating a plan. You're in a period of analytical strategy. You're being rational with a situation right now. And I feel that Four of Swords allows you to, notice when you need to take rest from a place of busyness, because I feel like you are exhausted. And taking a rest doesn't mean you have to be bored. You're channeling your energy into things that, are healthy for you. It's almost like, and this is a very interesting and very different reading. It may not resonate with everyone, but it's almost like when you have some downtime, you're actually thinking about your next plans. You're just strategizing the next plans and the next moves. And whilst that is wonderful, it also means you're not fully resting. So I feel some of you are workaholics, especially of the mind. Now, we do have the Five of Swords and the Tower energy. The Five of Swords is an interesting card. It can indicate conflict. It can indicate unfairness. I feel some of you have experienced unfairness in your life. It's almost like you've been coming up against some brick walls recently, or something hasn't been going to plan recently. But sometimes the universe sends us a locked door or a wall in order to direct us in a different direction. Okay, and I feel you're really tapping into your intuition. You're developing your spiritual gifts. With the Page of Cups, if you look up the meaning of the cards, because I give you the meaning of the cards, but also the energy that I've got coming through here, you are very psychically aware. So intuitively, I feel some of you have recognized that some experiences have not gone your way on purpose. The universe said, nope, that's not for you right now. Or it's not for you, but we've got something better. When we are sent the locked door or sent the brick wall, it means that the universe says, it's not never, it's just not now. Or it's, we have a better way. It is a silver lining to be protected and redirected. And with that Four of Swords here, I feel you're being protected in a situation that perhaps you have wanted to move forward on, but Eight of Swords, intuitively, you felt perhaps wasn't the way. It's really interesting because I feel like you have a goal that you want to accomplish, and you're going to accomplish that goal. But I feel like you're going to be very surprised about how you get to that goal. It may not be the way that you envisaged at first, but it's really interesting because I feel this energy of it was your plan or your decision all along. So it's almost like, I don't even know how to describe this energy that's coming out. So for example, if I wanted this cube, right? This was my goal. I want this cube. It must be mine. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to pay $10 for this cube. I've got $10 in my hand. I really want to do that. Suddenly, through the post, the universe has made it so that a unexpected bill comes in. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I can't afford the golden cube right now. I have to use some of this $10 to pay a bill. So you know what? I can't have it right now. I still want it, but I can't have it right now. The universe says, you'll have it. Don't worry. You're going to get your goal. You're going to achieve it, but trust the process. Well, how can I trust the process? Now I've got to, if only bills, unexpected bills were, $10 or less. But hey, that's sadly not life right now. And then suddenly you're like, well, how am I going to achieve that? Because now I don't have $10. I don't have the money to get the cube. Then suddenly along comes a friend and says, happy birthday. I bought you a golden cube. You initially had an idea. You want the cube. You thought you were going to get it the way you thought you were going to get it. So the idea, the goal, it's yours. You're in control of it. But the universe said, I've got a different way. Suddenly your friend comes along and goes, here you go. I'm gifting this. You're great. I think you're amazing. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is something that I always wanted. The universe is saying to you right now, you're going to get what you are trying to achieve, what you're manifesting, okay? But you don't have to force the issue. If we've sent you a brick wall, we've sent you a locked door, it means there is an alternative approach that's going to be easier for you long term. Don't sweat the small stuff and trust the process. So that's a very long-winded way of kind of like giving you an example, but that's what's coming to me right now. So again, this may not resonate with everyone, but the Swords cards, you've got a lot of difficult cards that have come out right now, and that indicates you are going through a very difficult time, but you're being protected and redirected. Now, the Five of Swords also is a card of brainstorming. So it could indicate that, yes, you've been going through some sort of conflict in some way. But, conflict or tension, it actually can be a shaper of worlds. We can allow it to overwhelm us, or we can allow it to spur us into action to, forge a new way or create a new landscape for ourselves. It's actually like kind of forcing you into a position to affect some sort of radical change in your world. Okay, so I feel something right now is in the mix, to put it like that. It's in the mix. Your plans are bubbling up, they're in the mix, and you're about to create major change in your world. And it feels a little bit overwhelming, a little bit daunting, but I feel that you are an authentic version of yourself and you're doing what's right for you, and it's actually going to work out in your favor. But let me just pull a card on that Five of Swords for you, because I feel this could be somebody who's a little bit immature, okay? Someone who's been pushing your buttons. You're trying to find peace of mind in a situation, let bygones be bygones. You're very different people. This could be someone who's a boss, could be a neighbor who's being petty. It could be a friend who has, felt intimidated by your light, your greatness, or they feel like you've got a lifestyle that they really desire. And in order to feel good about themselves, some people pull another person down. A real friend won't do that, but I feel like you're learning about the process of who you can trust, who you feel you've outgrown during this period. Let me just see. Justice. Justice shall prevail. Okay. Also, Five of Swords can indicate something's been on your mind right now, and the Justice card there indicates you'll find a solution. You're going to make some adjustments in your life. You're bringing more balance. You're being super honest with yourself, and I feel that a solution will be found. This is a win-win situation. This indicates it's cause and effect. So I feel, you are restructuring or making some major changes, liberating yourself out of a stuck situation. You're going to love it, is what I see there. Also, if you feel that someone has been, unkind or unfair towards you, whether it's a neighbor, boss, or a family member, or, an ex-friend, a friend of me, or, someone in, a position of authority, for example, they will get their just desserts. Karma will be served. So I feel a truth would come out for you very, very shortly, and you'll feel it's been dealt with in, a fair way. If you're going through some sort of legality right now, and you're feeling a bit stuck, for example, if you're going through a divorce, or you feel, you're going through some sort of legal issue right now, and you feel that the other party is not playing fair, or perhaps some of you are doing something that you've never done before, and you're having to go through a legal way of setting it up, and it can feel really daunting. It can feel like you don't know the way forward. It can feel like the information that you need is not available to you. Whatever is on your mind right now, know that you will find the way. Know that there is a fair outcome that actually works more beneficial for you. And, it's a big restructure in your life, and you're going to, benefit from it. Now, also the Justice card. This is a card of a solution being found. So if someone is micromanaging you or singling you out at work, for example, bullying you, I feel like you may take it to HR, and I feel that, you will find some sort of mediator who sorts through the stuff. There will be some adjustments made, and I feel that this person, I feel like they'll be removed. I actually see if someone is bullying you, or if there's anything going on that's untoward there, they're being removed in some way. So it could be that they decide to leave, or that they are given the old nudge to leave there. But justice will prevail. Also, when you get this card, this can indicate a lot of you are dealing with some major paperwork. So you may have a lot of admin going on in your life. You're trying to work on, your life's purpose, meaning, following your heart, but life and our tasks and our responsibilities are getting in the way at the moment, and you just feel a little bit overwhelmed with all the things that you have to do right now, and you're just trying to create harmony and balance in your world and stay on top of things. So if you're worried about something, I feel like you will find a solution to it. For some of you, there's no pentacles here, so I'm not seeing that you're worried about money per se, but it could be that some of you are worried about a job, or you're worried about something in the family unit, or you're worried about your sense of purpose, your direction, whatever it is you're worried about. I definitely see that you will find a solution to it, and some adjustments will be made, but it will be the right solution for you. And I feel, you're going to be totally on top of things, and things work in your favor there as well. Okay. Balance will be restored, and worry will dissipate. There are brighter things ahead. Now, of course, this is not going to resonate with everyone, but I feel some of you are in a more sort of simple vein, just worried about your path, to see if you're on the right path. You may be preempting some major restructures ahead, some major change ahead, and you would be right. There is change going on here for you, but I feel it works in your favor. It liberates you from a very stuck situation. Now, some of you, not all of you, may have had a shock recently, and you're just remaining really still. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there. So much love. I feel like, you will create a sense of balance in your world again. I feel like things will be resolved. Sometimes we're given a period of pause after a shock just to regroup, okay? But I do see, a beacon of light and healing ahead for you, and it actually gives you more options later on, is what I see there. Now, this could be something that's health related for some of you. You may actually find a breakthrough moment on something that you've been struggling with. But the Tower energy is a card of change. It often indicates, and I love this card, not many people like the Tower energy, but the Tower kind of represents a prison type energy, for example, where we have built a schedule or a lifestyle ourselves, especially starting with the Eight of Swords there. That's like the start of something that perhaps we feel bonded to. This could be a long-term job position. It could be a mortgage repayment plan. It could be, a toxic relationship. Something that feels ongoing, that we feel helpless to change a situation. And, for example, getting up in the morning, if you're lucky enough to have a job, going to a job, coming home, you're exhausted. It may feel like a cycle of repeat, that nothing ever changes. But the Tower is a liberation from that. It means you're taking a leap of faith on the other side to restructure. Could be a new environment that you're moving to. Could be a new plan, could be a new country, could be a new relationship. Something is breaking down here for you in a really positive way, because it's basically you seeing what is stable in your life and what is not. And you're basically releasing anything that is not stable. You know, relationships, if they are not fulfilling, or, you know, people are not sticking around in your life, you know, I feel like you're shedding those experiences, because it's almost like you're sorting the wheat from the chaff there. The Tower is like a paradigm shift that works for your highest good. And a lot of people are scared of it because it means restructure and change, but often it means change for the better. It feels uncomfortable. And I feel for some of you, you're really exhausted, you're busy doing life, and you're kind of trying to think of a better way to do life. And you know, you must have that pause before the restructure, because I feel when things start get moving, you know, when you're going to take a leap of faith, that's when you need all your resources available to you to activate some sort of change. Okay, so I'm just going to, we've got the Hangman. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of? Okay. Wow, I mean, you saw me shuffle the cards, okay? And, you know, the Tower is ahead of you. I want you to be aware of that, okay? I feel there is major restructure ahead of you, but it's almost like if I was to do the usual overarching energy for you, we've got the Hangman, which is a period of pause, reflection, a period of, you know, trusting the process, looking at the sacrifices you make for the life that you have right now, and if there is an easier way to do it. It's almost like you're turning life upside down in some way in order to do that. You may feel a little bit in limbo right now, where you know, you're trying to, you know, reflect in order to allow new opportunities to manifest. And the Tower is the restructure. You know, you're having a light bulb moment, an epiphany, a sudden realization, a wake-up call that something needs to be different in your life. And the Six of Swords tells me that you are protected and redirected. It is a silver lining that you're going through right now. Sometimes we need to trust that the door is locked for a reason, that there is another door opening up for you, or that the brick wall is not there to prevent you from getting what you want. It's there to protect you from what's on the other side and give you a moment of pause and respite to lean on that wall whilst the right thing for you becomes available for you to achieve later on. So I feel some of you going through some major restructure and growth in your world. And don't get me wrong, a Tower feels uncomfortable. It's like, why does it feel so hard? Why does everything have to be so difficult? But a path is being made clear for you to achieve whatever it is that you set out to achieve. Six of Swords indicates a turbulent or testing time, but you're being guided, and your guides are actually going to give you lots of signs on this path. I'm just being shown an image, but it's not quite clear yet. So I'm not really sure what that's all about. So I'm going to have to tap into that in a moment if it becomes a little more clear. But I am hearing a song, okay? And, oh, this is quite a famous song, actually. And they're bizarrely attaching a film to it as well. The song is On the Road Again. Going places I've never been. Okay, so the song, very, very famous song. I think it's even come up in a reading before. It's definitely by Willie Nelson, okay? But it features in a film called Shrek. Now, I love that film. It's such a great film. But some of you may have just watched it, or it's about to come on the TV, for example, maybe even just that part. I think it's the little donkey that sings that song, On the Road Again. And I mean, this could be that you are traveling or relocating. I mean, the travel could be that, you know, you're in desperate need of a rest. And I mean, the fact that I was given the lyrics, going places I've never been, that can indicate that you have a real desire for new adventures, new experiences. But also it could be that you're on the road again, literally. It could be that you're moving. And when you're moving to like a new environment, or breaking down all that was in order to rebuild, it can feel really scary. It can feel really daunting. But know that you are being protected and redirected towards better times. You're coming out of a testing time. Also, some of you, you've had a lot of things perhaps not go your way recently, and it's almost like you're feeling conditioned to expect that nothing's going to go your way, but you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Things are going to get a little bit easier for you. They give me the word recovery as well. So for some of you, not all of you, of course, some of you may have, before you came to this reading, you may have had like an accident, or you may have felt a little bit unwell, perhaps, and you've had to take a bit of a pause in life, and you're just having to reflect on the next steps, and you're eager to get back in the mix, but it's important to heal before you actually move forward. But that song, On the Road Again, it feels very much like you want to be moving forward, but you feel right now that you've been in a period of stagnancy or pause, but it is there for a reason. So I want you to be aware of that. Six of Swords is a great card to end on, because it indicates you're creating a period of calm within. You're seeking greater wisdom, and you are embarking on a necessary change, not only in thinking, but also in your life in some way that will benefit you, and that you've been in a transition period towards something greater that you will really feel fulfilling. Okay. That song, this... okay, I'm seeing two entwined rings. That's what it was. Two golden rings entwined. So this can be an indication of relationship, perhaps, or contract, or bonding, or unity, perhaps. It may even be a logo. Two rings entwined, golden rings. What else could that be? Looking at it, the way it's forming, it almost looks like infinity sign. Okay, so it could be that there are infinite golden opportunities for you in the future, that things are going to come together. I just heard from my guide, everything is linked. Everything is linked. So it could be that they're indicating that you're given a pause for a reason. Everything is linked. Okay, that's a deep one. It's like with every action, there is a reaction, a cause and effect. So it's like, start to reflect more on why something hasn't worked out, or why the door has been locked, or why something has been difficult, and what the lesson is in it. And once you know the lesson, you will know how to proceed forward with it. Again, as I said, that's a deep one, so please apply it to your situation. This reading, I have a feeling this reading is probably not going to resonate with many people, because it is really different than the usual readings. It was meant to be different, but this one is a little bit... Oh, wow. I almost want to cry. Just going to ground my energy there, because a wave of like overwhelming, I don't want to say it's anxiety, but it was just this overwhelming energy came, where I almost felt like breaking down. So it feels like you're holding everything together, and maybe you're just like really focusing at this time on your path. Look at the card that came out, and this is the energy that hit me right here in my solar plexus in particular. It says, there's a path you're meant to be on, trust it. So again, I know it sounds like, oh, there's Baba rambling again about stuff, but this is channeled energy and messages from my guides given to you for a reason. I'm given thought forms and energies to do with each card each time. And this particular card has come out to reflect the reading you just got, which is, yes, you're thinking about your path. And sometimes the path, it doesn't seem as clear as we want it to be, but you're on a certain path, and sometimes we'll experience those locked doors. And this could be in relationships as well. So, even like if you've got a crush on a person, for example, and that person doesn't reciprocate in some way, there's a reason why that was misaligned. You don't know it yet, but further down the line, there could be an experience that you really don't want to have with that person, and the universe knows. The universe says, no, You didn't come into this lifetime to experience this, so we're going to give you this missed opportunity, but you'll benefit from it long term. So trust the process. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Ooh, okay, that was very intense energy that popped out of the deck there as well. So we've got challenge yourself to be stronger than your challenges. You're definitely stronger than your challenges, my beautiful Capricorn. You're a very strong, independent person. You have a beautiful heart, but I feel like you have learned to protect that beautiful heart, especially since some people have misunderstood you along the journey that you've had so far. But I feel like you're not allowing these experiences to compartmentalize you into a certain way of being or behaving. I feel like you are stronger than that. You've had to be the warrior of life, but I feel like you're coming out the other side and things are going to get infinitely easier for you. We've also got, don't compare your life to others. Your journey is your own. Okay, so it's really about tapping into your heart, the path that you want to unfold in front of you. Your manifestations are going to, happen for you, but it feels almost like the path that you took to accomplish it, it feels like the universe has a little bit of a detour for you, a little bit of a plot twist. Trust the process, okay? I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune for you. Oof. Okay, so we got the cap and scroll. So this obviously indicates a period of learning. For some of you, it could be really simplified. It could be that you are about to come out of college or university. You're going to have a certification, or maybe you've been in a period of learning and you have got a qualification, and now you're about to embark on the big old wide world of trying to find a role, a new job. And it's a different timeline, it's a different pace of life, it's a different environment. And of course, the job market right now is very difficult, but you're being guided towards an opportunity that is going to be incredible for you. For some of you, I feel like you could use all the learned experiences that you've had to help you and others by either writing a book, or writing a screenplay, or channeling into art your experiences to help others on their path as well, because you are the student of life. And I feel like right now you really feel it. I feel you're about to come out of that though, and I feel it's almost like, thank you so much, I'm truly grateful. Oh, I wish you could hear what I can hear. My guide literally said, you've passed the test. Again, I feel really overwhelmed. So if you're going through a really testing time, I do apologize. I try to be really professional with all the energy that comes out, because if I get overwhelmed by it, I cannot channel the message fully for you. So I cannot allow all of that to sort of like embrace me, because of course there's lots of you listening, so I'm picking up on a lot of energy for all of you. But I really want you to be aware that yes, I can feel that you're going through some very challenging times in all very different ways, and they're not to be measured against each other. But that Six of Swords that came out there, this is the card that if you look it up, it literally means you've been tested, but you're coming out of testing times. And, the fact that you've got the cap there in the scroll, it indicates that you're passing the test, okay? The test of life. And boy, are we always tested in life. But I definitely see that, you should be really proud of yourself. You're doing a great job with the circumstances that you've got, and there is better to come, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in there, and I'm sending you all a huge hug and so much love. If it does resonate in any shape or form, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Capricorn, and love and light.